I'm Kelvin Xuna, the owner of Artist Housing. I started the co-living movement back in 2010 before the rest. We were the first co-living operator in Los Angeles, which was the first in California, the first in the United States, and the first co-living operator in the world. You can check it out on using your favorite AI. We offer stuff that's very unique. We offer same-day move-ins. We offer a return on your application fee if you move in. These things nobody else does in Los Angeles. You can confirm that with AI. I try to keep costs down because I too was a struggling artist. When I moved to Los Angeles, I wanted to be in film and music, and it didn't really pan out for me. But I fell back on my degree from Harvard University in housing and urbanization to come up with this innovative solution that could help bring together the arts in the city at an affordable price. So I wanted to bring something up that is important. It's the landlord-tenant laws in California are causing our business to fail because they were made for an older business model, which was the single family residence. A large family of 5 or 6 people might need some time to move, but in this climate of different types of housing, the laws should also change because we operate as like boarding homes where people have shared rooms and rent bunk beds, but then we have to wait several months for the eviction process. The system is a broken system where, because the way it is, it doesn't work. For example, during COVID, they enacted the eviction moratorium. We weren't able to evict for several years. People that were causing nuisances at the property caused huge amounts of property damage. They ended up reimbursing me some unpaid rent, but none of the fees, none of the damages, nothing else. And it costed us a lot. And that's where the whole spiraling downward started happening. Because at that same time, they also enacted the Tenant Protection Act, AB 2, which put a blanket policy of making all the properties rent control. They did it quietly so that there wasn't going to be any repercussions or position from landlords causing a large amount of tenants being evicted. Now it's very complicated to evict people, and it's causing us to shut down. It reduces the quality of the property for everybody else, having to deal with crazy individuals there for several months at a time who don't pay rent. And it's incredible that the government supplies them the free attorneys. The government still offers the tenants way more help than the landlords. They don't provide any help to the landlords, let's say. They make it difficult for the landlords. It's very known knowledge that most landlords will just waive the debt. It's a way of extortion. The judge, that's how they start. It's like, well, you guys just, if you want your property, you should just waive the debt and then let them stay a little bit longer so they can find another place. And that's after like 3 months of the eviction process, and it's not sustainable. And then lawyers know that, and so they go to the courthouse and find out who's getting evicted, and they send them all kinds of mail saying that they'll take the case pro bono because it's easy money. No landlord wants to deal with it, especially if you're a small landlord and you don't live close to the property. And you have to fly in or drive to the courthouse and be there by 8 a.m, then listen to a bunch of cases, and then they set your trial for another date in the future, and then you got to fly back in, and then at that time they extort you because they say, well, you got to just settle, or you're going to have to deal with a jury trial and months, possibly months of more court hearings, and it doesn't make sense. There needs to be a streamlined process to just kick people out. All while the bad tenants are destroying the property, scaring good tenants away, and then those good tenants leave bad reviews. Then more bad tenants come in, and then we have to then we have low occupancy, so then we have to be more flexible with people, and we get more bad tenants, and it's just a vicious cycle that's destroying us. So much so that if something doesn't happen like a miracle real soon, we're going to close down. So yeah, if you care about the arts and film and music and housing and struggling artists, you could donate. It could help us maybe stay open a little longer, but we really need policy changes. So if you could forward this to lawmakers, that might be our best avenue. My innovative housing solution that provides non-subsidized housing for thousands of people for over 15 years in a shared housing environment. The tough eviction policies are counter. There needs to be a streamlined process to kicking people out from boarding homes, because we provide way more affordable housing than the government provides. per dollar. Non-subsidized means that we've never received any funds from the government to operate, and we've tried. Subsidy dollars financed towards co-living can stretch a lot farther than they would other housing types, per dollar. So we can shelter a lot more people per dollar, but never got any money. Tenant Protection Act AB 1482 causes us to slowly go under, because when we want to kick somebody out because they are harassing other tenants and it's destroying the property or stealing property and or breaking rules, whatever, we can't easily evict them. It's just that, it just becomes a problem for the landlord, because you get a bad tenant and then everybody complains, thinking you're like, why you don't kick them out? And it's like your hands are tied. You can't do anything. It sucks. The Protection Act works good for single family residences that have a big family or something, but not in a bunk bed shared living environment. It's very destructive, and we provide a lot of housing to thousands of people, and it just doesn't make logical sense for me to go to court all the time to try to convince the judge why this person should pay rent, or it's not sustainable. So much so that we might be closing our doors and giving everybody 60-day notices in December, right around Christmas, which is very unfortunate. And if it happened to me, which I was the first co-living operator in California, it's probably going to happen to all the new co-living operators slowly but surely, because it starts off smooth and good, but over time you get people that you can't get out, and it's just this huge problem.